You can't change the fact that candidates are that. What you have to make sure is the candidates are extremely well connected throughout all the community of the city. You also have to test their personal values. And I hope people would look to see what I've been doing out and about everywhere, genuinely engaging with every community. And my plan is all about how all of those communities succeed and we share in the success together. So I can't change who I am, but I can make sure I am genuinely connected with every community.
I think it is. I think it is actually a huge problem. I would very much welcome the intervention of candidates from more diverse ethnicities. But to be honest, it's really, I think, more for me an issue of class. The vast majority of people of Asian and black extraction in Birmingham are working class. And as we can see in America, we've got a political elite that's manipulated the system so that, you know, you better watch out if you're a person of colour and you're also working class. And I'm working class. I'm from a working class background. I've spent a lifetime working for working people. I used to be a factory worker. In a trade union. I was a trade union representative at international level, dealing with the European Union. So I want to put something back, and what I want to do is I'd like to create the position where we have many more working class people involved in civil society organisations in communities. What we shouldn't be doing is, you know, 7,000 people in a ward elect one or two people to go and sit in meetings for them and they get paid for it. What we should be doing is having a democratic system where streets and groups of streets have residents who collect together and input their ideas into democratic assemblies. I'd like to see a completely different kind of democracy.
Yeah, it's a problem. The problem is you can only elect one mayor. So there's probably, last time I checked, I think there was 50.5% women or something in the West Midlands. So actually, you know, you have to have a man or a woman pretty much to start with. Say, you know, Beverley would be the most representative as probably a white woman just about just. So I think we have to look wider than that. So the mayor is going to chair a board of basically cabinet members for different portfolio areas. So I would argue across the mayor and that board, that's what needs to look like the West Midlands. At the moment, that board is almost exclusively older white men, almost exclusively, and that's, I think, where the problem really lies. Yes, I would absolutely like to have seen more women, more young people, more people from black, Asian, minority ethnic communities as candidates. We are where we are on that one. So one thing I've talked about, for example, is appointing or inviting someone to be deputy mayor, because the mayor has to appoint a deputy who is a woman, to at least ensure gender balance in that way, and to charge them with a portfolio for inclusive growth to make sure that these economic plans work for everyone.
No, I would like, particularly if you like, in terms of I stood for Police and Crime Commissioner, and I stood on the basis that I think it's really, really bad that we have so little representation in the police force from different ethnic communities, and absolutely would like to see that increased. Nothing would make me happier than to see that also represented in the mayoral campaign. I slightly disagree in the sense that I think that white people, if you like, should be able to represent anyone in the same way as if you're black or Asian, you should be able to represent all parts of the community. So I don't accept necessarily that you can't represent everyone, and you should be able to do that. But yeah, ideally, of course, I would like to see a mix of ethnicity and ages and backgrounds represented absolutely in the candidates and on offer in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a problem. It's a problem, and it's an embarrassment, and it's something that we need to tackle more actively than we do. And when I'm mayor, it will be a priority. My administration will look like, in all respects, will look like the region that we are attempting to serve, because I believe that it matters. I believe that an all-white list of candidates is not where we should be in the most super diverse region in the world, and an 80% male list of candidates is not where we should be anywhere in the world. And unless we actively tackle it, that's what always happens. So you've got to actively tackle it.
Yeah, I think again, you know, this is really what I've just been talking about. You know, I think we need to represent the communities that we serve, and We need those voices to be heard, and when those voices aren't coming forward, then we need to work harder to make sure that we can hear and that they do come forward. And there's so much talent out there. It's not an issue of a lack of talent. It's somehow that the pipeline doesn't facilitate that talent to come to the fore sufficiently in sufficient numbers. And whether we're talking about, you know, gender, ethnicity, whatever aspect of diversity we happen to be looking at. So I think we need to draw on this diversity. That's what gives richness. That's what leads to creativity. You know, that's what will challenge the prevailing thought processes and lead to disruptive change that we as a non-conformist part of the country have always been, and that's what we really need, that energy now, that mix to drive the sort of changes that all these new technologies that are sort of at this tipping point enable us to take on at the moment.